What's up everyone, Travis Eman here, broker with the Salerno Realty team, and we got
Maria Eman. What
Keep
am
going.
I? Mortgage agent for Cognitive Capital.
Dope. Today, what we're going to be talking about is the 5 C's of credit.
Very important in order for you to get the mortgage that you want.
I just had some candy, so I'm like, I gotta get it right.
Pretty much these 5 C's will be indicative of your overall risk to the lenders.
So the first of these 5 C's is character. All this stuff is extremely important because, as people always say, buyers are liars, so they're gonna look and see exactly what you state if it matches up with what's in reality. So they're gonna look at, for instance, your net worth. Is that gonna line up with what stage you are in life?
Do you max out your credit cards? That is also another indication.
Also, do you have a financial buffer? Is this loan or mortgage gonna be maxing out your financials essentially?
One of these factors, if you fail them, it may not ultimately lead to your demise and a decline for a mortgage, but you want to plead your case and be able to reason out why one of your situations may be in bad shape.
Literally, be as transparent as possible. You don't wanna hide things from the bank because believe me, they're gonna find it.
Exactly. So that's why you have to be transparent to your mortgage agent, someone like me, so that we could figure it out ahead of time before you get caught at the bank. And then you have to kind of have to maneuver around everything that you got caught doing. The next of the 5 C's is credit.
Now, I know this is mostly talked about when talking about getting a mortgage, so let's break it down and explain how significant it is when searching for a home.
Your credit is mostly made up of your beacon score. So your beacon score is what people normally just call it.
Equifax,
and a credit score.
So above 700 in a lender's eye will mean that you are a low credit risk.
Yes, and under 700 means you're a high risk.
So to stay on top of this, obviously you don't want to pay a monthly subscription fee or anything like that. You can easily set up a Credit Karma account. It might not be completely accurate, but it gives you a good idea of where your credit score is. And I'll tell a quick little story about this because this was one of the scariest things ever. I checked my credit score here and there on Credit Karma. Literally, I was checking my credit score and I looked and we were about to try and apply for our home.
Our second mortgage.
Our house was closing in a few months and I look at my credit score and I'm in the 500s. Now, I don't usually have the best credit, but I'm not horrible in any sense. I'm just, I'm good. I have good credit. And being at the 500, I was so confused. So this allowed me to go and ask my mortgage agent, what's going on here? Can we do a deeper dive into my credit score? And we found out that there was a credit card that had closed like almost a year ago, but there was a little $5 fee on it.
Yes,
that
for
was
closing. It was like a closing fee or
something like that. And I got no notification, nothing like that, but I was sent to collections for it, over $5. And my bill, like it was a credit card of like $10,000.
And that dropped his credit score down 200 points or something
bad.
Ridiculous.
But like because of the Credit Karma account, I was able to spot it early enough that we were able to send a letter to Scotia and they wiped it off of my credit report, sending me back to a regular number. Now, that looks pretty good. Now, the next point that we're gonna talk about is capacity. And this is basically, are you able to repay your mortgage?
So based on your credit, will you be able to repay your mortgage and can they trust that you will?
Now, this is where employment stability is going to be heavily involved because they want to make sure that, this person's going to be guaranteed pay or their payment history is strong enough that they won't be, out of work in a few months or something like that.
Yes.
So total income is very important in this section because, if you're self-employed, like myself, obviously you want to pay as little taxes as possible, but in the mortgage eye or in the lender's eye, they want to see that you make X amount of dollars to be able to pay for that mortgage. Even if you gross $400K a year or something like that, and you're only showing $60-something thousand, they're only gonna give you a mortgage based on your $60,000 reported income. So your household income is extremely important when talking about, your gross debt service or your total debt service.
Yes, these ratios are very important and you have to be under a certain threshold for you to be approved for a mortgage. So in terms of these ratios, there's something called the GDS, which is your gross debt service. and that has to be under 39%. That specific percentage calculates based on your income against all of your mortgage payments, the insurance on your home, your taxes, and heat.
PIF or PIF C, because if you're in a condo, you gotta take half of the condo fees as well. So that's gonna be your gross debt service, and then your total debt service is PIF C, or principal, interest, taxes, heat, and your monthly maintenance fees or anything like that, half of that, plus any other debts that you might have. And this is all revolving debt or installment debt. So am I saying death or debt?
You said death earlier.
I'm saying death because debt is death. It's debt, regardless. So that's your car payments, your credit card payments, all of those combined cannot exceed 44%.
Meaning you can't be paying too much a month against your income.
The bank does not mess around with their money. They're gonna
Yes.
make sure that you can afford this home.
Yes, exactly. And obviously you want to make sure ahead of time before you even go to the banks and they do the whole credit check and then just for you to get declined, right?
And realistically, you don't want to max out these numbers, but we know where the market is today. You might have to, but if you can avoid,
Find a way.
Try your best not to max them out, even though we max them out. Whatever.
Definitely talk to professionals, financial advisors, mortgage agents, so that you could get a good sense of where you're at, and at least you can gauge to see if you're at risk or if you're for sure gonna get approved.
So the next C is capital, and this has to do with how much money are you initially putting into this property or this mortgage.
Yes,
Your down
essentially,
payment.
yes, your down payment. So obviously, you have more down payment, that means you're gonna be borrowing less from the lender, so that means you're less risky.
Obviously, if you're a first-time home buyer, you might be less than 20% because you can buy a home with as little as 5%, but just know that in the bank's eye, you're gonna be deemed more risky than a person who puts a heavier down payment.
And that's why you have to get insured in that case. So this down payment can come from your parents as a gift, or it can be a down payment from your previous home. But you obviously have to show proof that this exists.
You wanna be careful with moving money around, especially close to a closing date, because the bank wants to know exactly where this money is coming from.
So the fifth C is collateral. So for property owners, anytime you have a mortgage already, you always have to have collateral.
So for example, if you're trying to refinance your home, the bank wants to make sure that the house that you're refinancing, is in good condition, it exists, and it's within their guidelines. So if it's a fixer-upper or something like that, they might be less inclined to refinance that home for you because they want to make sure that what they're giving you a loan for is in good condition.
This is why lenders normally will do appraisals so that they can make sure, first of all, the home is there, the home is in good condition, or the value of the home is what you say it is.
All right, guys, so those are the 5 C's of credit. Obviously, whenever we're talking about credit, it's kind of a touchy subject, but just realize,
and no one ever has perfect credit.
No, don't worry about that. Look,
we'll worry about it a little
bit, but realize that you can repair your credit very fast. So just don't be discouraged and throw it all away. Just know that a couple good months and your credit will bounce back easily.
Exactly.
All right, guys. So I'm Travis Eman, broker with the Salerno Realty team and mortgage agent with Cognitive Capital.
And I'm Maria Eman, mortgage agent for Cognitive Capital.
Obviously, guys, hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, if you had any value from it, and always punch.
Oh my God.
The subscribe
Abusive.
button. It's the left hand. Don't get caught with it.
Southpaw.
Nice. Regardless, guys, if you want to see more videos like that, if you have any questions about anything financial wise, comment down below. Comment down below and we'll do our best to make those videos. But as always, thank you so much for watching.
Thank you for listening.
Sign
We
off.
out. That's my sign off.
Cool.